So time now to go through the morning papers. Here with me to review them are the broadcaster and journalist Afia Hagan and writer and academic Mo Lovett. So welcome back to both of you. And we're going to delve inside the papers for this hour, aren't we? And Mo, you're going to kick us off. An article you spotted inside this morning's Mirror newspaper reflecting on yesterday's growth figures, the GDP figures that came out yesterday morning.
Yeah, so a little bit of good news, I think. Looks like Britain's set to avoid an economic downturn. Figures from the economy show that it grew by 0.1%. OK, it's quite a small amount, but it did go in the right direction. And that was in the month of November. And it was predicted to decline by 0.2%. So that seems like it's good news. And figures from the FTSE 100 also closed at a record high in that month. And the paper and several analysts are putting it down to the fact that the World Cup gave a boost to the economy, particularly the food and drink industry, which was boosted by 2.2%. So generally good news. It might mean, sadly, that there'll be pressure on the Bank of England to increase interest rates, which might not suit mortgage owners like myself. But generally, it's quite good news. It's a short blip, I think, in a kind of longer term picture, which is a little bit more gloomy. So I think, there's no need to rest on our laurels. We really do need to kind of look at how we increase productivity in the UK economy. But certainly it's meant that we've avoided that kind of technical definition of a recession going into a fall over 2 consecutive quarters. A little bit of good news.
Well, yeah, that's right. And all eyes on whether or not inflation will come down, because that seems to be one of the big problems, doesn't it? So we'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, Afia, you wanted to turn to a double-page spread with some pretty shocking pictures in the Mirror.
Yes, that's right. So this is an investigation in the Daily Mirror by their environment correspondent, and this is about someone who lives in Essex who goes on these hunting holidays, essentially to South Africa, where he's seen killing lions, as you can see here, zebras, bears, and other parts of the world for sport. And he's defending shooting these wild animals and endangered species, I might add, for fun, saying that he's playing a role in the environment and also protecting these animals from poachers, even though he's probably doing the same thing that poachers do. You're killing the animals. Poachers kill them for tusks, for other bits of the body. He's killing them for fun. He's trying to defend this by saying that he does it in a more humane way and comparing it to the way that animals are slaughtered in the United Kingdom. But the problem here is that he's going on hunting holidays for fun to kill endangered species like lions, giraffes, and rhinos in South Africa. Now, he has a license, so he's saying that British and American authorities don't need to get involved. But the point is that these are endangered species, and you're going to whole other continent, a whole other country to shoot them for fun. And I don't think this would be allowed if you were, shooting the neighbour's dogs or cats or something like that. So why is it allowed that he's allowed to go to South Africa and kill endangered species and post these pictures on social media for fun?
Yeah, and as you say, a pretty robust defence of what he's doing there in the paper as well. Let's move on to a totally different issue, Mo. You've picked out an article here in the Daily Star, which talks about what Gary Lineker said about MPs' pay.
Yes, it's just caught my eye a little bit. Gary Lineker is saying that we need to increase MPs' salary to get smarter people to do a better job, and that we don't entice the best minds. And I think what he's doing here is tapping into a kind of general feeling of disillusionment with our political class at the moment. I just think he's going about it the wrong way. And he's certainly been highly criticised for his comments on social media. I mean, maybe for, if you're earning 1.35 million, salary, MP's salary doesn't look that great. But I think most of us think 84k a year and rising to 100k if you're a minister isn't a bad salary. But I think part of the problem is that we have this kind of political class that are career politicians. Actually, I'd like to see more politicians who are kind of motivated by a sense of duty and wanting to make the world or the country a better place. I think it's those career politicians and the idea that it's a way to earn a living is probably part of the problem. We talked about Wes Streeting in the first round of the papers, and there's a guy who's really motivated to make some improvements. And it's not just on the Labour bench. So I'm not being party political here, but those are the politicians that we want. The people that have a sense of duty and want to make the country a better place for their constituents. And I don't really think salary is the answer there, I'm afraid.
Yeah, interesting. And whereas some people say higher salary, you might get the best brains in the country, more tempted into politics rather than to other industries where they can pay more. So it's quite an interesting debate, isn't it? Let's turn to royal issues. Feels like ages since we talked about Prince Harry, but there is a double-page spread here. Still plenty of coverage, isn't there, around? In fact, it's on some of the front pages again. This is the Express's double-page spread. And Afia, tell us what it's telling us.
Well, yes, the Daily Express have conducted a poll in which they talked about the popularity of different members of the royal family after the release of Prince Harry's memoir, Spare. And it says here that popularity of King Charles III has actually gone up 10% after the release of the book, but the Queen Consort Camilla, her popularity has gone down by 2%. Now, the Prince of Wales and the Prince and Princess of Wales have fared a bit better. Their popularity has gone up for the Prince of Wales at 5% and up for the Princess of Wales 9%. But for Prince Harry himself, his popularity has dipped by 39%, and Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, her popularity has dipped by 35%. So it seems that after the release of Spare, more people are finding sympathy with the royal family, with King Charles especially, rather than Prince Harry himself. Now, in terms of whether people think that Prince William and Prince Harry will ever heal their rift, most people thought that actually they would. 9% thought they would heal their rift quite soon, but 35% said yes, but not in the short term. Now, the conversation around Meghan and Harry being stripped of their titles has been one that's been around for a long time, and this poll says that people thought that 54% of them thought that, yes, they should be stripped of their roles, stripped of their titles, of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and 31% of people thought that they should attend the coronation, and 44% of people thought that they should stay away. So lots of varying opinions there coming out after the release of Spare this week.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's had something to say about it, haven't they? There's been so many opinions, and I'd be really curious to see what results you get to a similar poll in America, for example, whether or not they're viewed more sympathetically there. The suggestion is that Harry and Meghan are more popular there. Anyway, let's try and get another story in, Mo. This is inside The Guardian, and this is the new AI chatbot that is causing a few concerns, especially in schools and universities.
Yeah, absolutely. It's called chatbot ChatGPT, and it's an app that can create essays and stories and even kind of help you write your job application. It comes out of Elon Musk's OpenAI research laboratory. And basically what you do, the AI is fed lots and lots of words, and then it comes out with sentences based on probability of usage, a bit like predictive texting on your phone. But the concern within universities is that students will use it to write their essays and not learn the skill of writing essays. And so one university even scrapped essay writing as a method of assessment in grading students. I think they're jumping the gun a little bit quickly there. I mean, good essay, the art of a good essay is in structure and creativity, and I'm not sure AI is quite ready to replicate that. There's other people saying, this actually could be a good thing. If the world of industry is going to use AI in this way, why shouldn't students get to grips with it? I suppose it's that old thing that new technology can be used for good purposes or bad purposes, depending on its user.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And we're all just rushing to catch up, well, I am anyway, with what technology is out there and its implications. Very briefly, Afia, a story about a lucky student at a gig. Fill us in very briefly.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is a student at a college in Glasgow who has just got the opportunity to support Louis Capaldi on tour when he's playing at the OVO Hydro in Glasgow in front of 12,000 people.
Wow.
This is a student who goes to the new college in Lanark. She was asked by her lecturer if she was free on the 24th of January, I think it was. She said yes, and now she's supporting Louis Capaldi. Good
Amazing. She said she thought it was a joke at the time, didn't she? Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
We're all out of time. See you again next hour. Thank you.